Nobody prepares you for this moment. You spent the best years of your life raising them, feeding them, worrying about them at 2 in the morning, putting their futures ahead of your own dreams. And now somehow, the relationship has quietly flipped. They cut you off mid-sentence. They roll their eyes at your advice. They cancel plans without a second thought. And sometimes, if you're being honest with yourself, they make you feel like a stranger in your own family. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. You are not alone, and this is not the end of the story. But fixing it requires something most people aren't willing to do. It requires you to change, not them. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. You cannot control how they behave. You can only control what you model, what you allow, and how you choose to show up. And when you shift those things, everything else starts to shift too. Here are 6 things you can start doing right now. Number 1, stop needing their approval. This one stings, but it needs to be said. The more desperate you are to be liked by your own children, the less they respect you. It sounds backwards, but think about the people in your life you have always admired most. Were they people who chased your validation, or were they people who simply knew who they were and didn't need your opinion to confirm it? When you bend your schedule around their moods, swallow your opinions to avoid tension, or keep giving even when nothing is given back, you are quietly teaching them that your worth is negotiable. And people, even the ones who love you, will treat you according to the standard you set. A woman I'll call Patricia did this for years. She kept the peace, kept her mouth shut, kept rearranging her life around her adult children's preferences. She thought she was being selfless. What she was actually doing was disappearing. Her children didn't become more grateful. They became less aware that she had needs at all. The shift begins the moment you stop auditioning for their approval and start living by your own values out loud. That confidence, real, quiet, unshakable confidence, is magnetic, and respect will follow it. Number 2, let your behavior do the talking. Arguing with your children about respect is one of the most exhausting, pointless battles you will ever fight. You cannot lecture someone into admiring you. You cannot remind them loudly enough of your sacrifices until they finally come around. It doesn't work that way. What does work is presence, composure, the kind of steady, dignified calm that makes people stop and take notice without you saying a single word. A man I'll call Bernard had spent 30 years as a respected figure in his community, but at home his grown children had started treating him like background noise. The more he pushed back, the more they tuned him out. Then he tried something different. He stopped engaging in the bickering and simply started being the man he wanted them to see. He listened more. He spoke less, but with more intention. He stopped reacting and started responding. Within months, the dynamic in the family shifted. Not because he demanded change, because he became it. Now, before we move forward, I want to stop and talk about something that almost nobody mentions in conversations like this one, because I think it's more common than people realize. Sometimes what looks like disrespect in a family is actually miscommunication. And sometimes miscommunication isn't about attitude or ego at all. It starts with something as quiet and invisible as not being able to hear each other clearly. Hearing loss affects a huge number of adults over 50, and most people don't even know it's happening to them. You mishear a word, you respond the wrong way, someone gets frustrated, and suddenly a small, ordinary moment turns into an argument that leaves everyone feeling hurt. It's nobody's fault, but it chips away at relationships slowly over time. If you found that conversations with your family feel more tense or confusing than they used to, it might genuinely be worth paying attention to your hearing health. I've left a link in the description to something called Audifort. It's a natural supplement made specifically for adults dealing with hearing decline and the frustration that comes with it. It comes with a full 90-day money-back guarantee, so there's truly nothing to lose. Go check it out. The link is right below this video. Now let's get back to the 6 things. If you're still here and finding value in this, drop a 2 in the comments right now. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do that so you never miss a new video. Now let's keep going. Number 3, cut the emotional lifeline. This is a hard one, especially if your children are your primary source of connection, but leaning on them emotionally, Needing their calls, their visits, their reassurance puts a weight on the relationship that it was never designed to carry. When your children feel like your emotional survival depends on them, they don't feel loved, they feel trapped, and people pull away from what traps them. A woman I'll call Doris found this out the hard way. After her retirement, she poured all of her emotional energy into staying connected with her children. She called constantly, mentioned her loneliness often, and guilt-tripped them when they couldn't visit. Her intentions were pure, but the effect was that her children started dreading her calls. Visits felt like obligations. The warmth drained out of the relationship. Then Doris made a brave decision. She filled her own life. She joined a walking group, started painting again, and built friendships outside the family. She became genuinely busy, genuinely happy, and her children, almost immediately, became more interested in her. They called more. They visited more willingly, because now she was someone they wanted to be around, not someone they felt responsible for. Your emotional independence is not a wall, it's an invitation. Number 4, draw lines and actually hold them. Boundaries without enforcement are just wishes. If you tell someone what you will and won't accept, and then you accept it anyway, you haven't set a boundary. You've revealed that your limits are for show, and the people in your life will adjust their behavior accordingly. A man I'll call Victor had let his children's disrespect slide for so long that it had simply become the family culture. Talking over him, dismissing his opinions, making decisions about his life without consulting him. It was all normal, until Victor decided it wasn't. He didn't make a big announcement, he simply started responding differently. When someone spoke over him, he paused and said calmly, "I wasn't finished." When a conversation turned disrespectful, he ended it, not angrily, but firmly. We can continue this when the tone changes. At first, his children pushed back, but Victor held the line every single time, without rage, without resentment, just quiet consistency. And slowly, the family learned a new normal, because he had. You teach people how to treat you. The question is whether you're doing it consciously or by default. Number 5, make your generosity mean something. Generosity that is endless, unconditional, and unacknowledged does not produce gratitude. It produces entitlement. When you are always available, always giving, always dropping everything, your presence loses value. Not because your children are ungrateful by nature, but because human beings instinctively devalue what comes without cost. A man I'll call Edward gave everything to his children, money, time, energy, and received very little acknowledgement in return. They expected it. When he finally started saying no and pulling back his time and resources, his children were initially frustrated. But something quiet shifted. They started noticing his effort. They started saying thank you, because for the first time they understood it wasn't guaranteed. Give generously, but give with self-respect. Your time and energy are gifts. Make sure they're received that way. If this is resonating with you, leave a 4 in the comments and subscribe if you want more conversations like this one. Number 6, build a life that doesn't revolve around them. Here is the single most powerful thing on this entire list. When your children look at your life, what do they see? Do they see someone with passions, friendships, goals, and joy? Or do they see someone whose world shrinks a little every time they don't call? People respect people who are truly alive, who have things going on, who show up to family gatherings with stories of their own, not just questions about everyone else's lives. A woman I'll call Constance spent her late 70s making herself smaller so her children wouldn't feel crowded. She waited. She hoped. She planned her weeks around the possibility of a visit, and the more she waited, the less they came. Then she stopped waiting. She started a garden. She joined a community choir. She booked a trip she'd been putting off for a decade. Her children saw someone who was genuinely thriving, and suddenly they wanted to be part of her world. Not because she needed them to be, but because her world looked worth joining. You do not need to shrink to make room for your children. You need to grow and let them rise to meet you. Final thought. Respect from your children isn't something you can demand. It isn't something you can guilt them into. It is something you inspire through the way you carry yourself, the standards you hold, and the life you choose to live. Stop waiting for them to change first. You change first. Because when you do, you give them something worth respecting. And as you do that work, take care of yourself along the way. Because showing up fully in your relationship starts with showing up fully for yourself. That means your physical health too. If conversations at home have been feeling more tense or frustrating lately, don't overlook something as simple as your hearing. So many family conflicts quietly start there. A missed word, a misunderstood tone, a moment that spirals into something bigger. If that resonates, check out Audifort. The link is in the description. It's helped thousands of adults over 50 feel more connected and present in their everyday lives. And that's exactly what the people you love deserve from you. Take care of yourself, set your boundaries, live your life fully, and watch how the people around you rise to meet you. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me in the comments, which of these 6 points hit closest to home for you? I read every single one. If this video helped you, please like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so we can keep having conversations that actually matter. See you in the next one.